Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the John Deere Farm. We're still in March. We had a little bit of what I'll call a change of plans. I started recording the episode and I realized that the piece of equipment that I thought existed did not in fact exist. So let me explain. What we want in a perfect world is a vintage John Deere round baler. I swore that that existed, and here's what was in my head. These, except that this is square and this is square. So neither one of these actually would be round bales. Now, if you're wondering why I want round bales, it's because I want to use a bale wrapper, not the regular individual kind, but the kind that makes the big tubes. And these won't do that because they don't work with square bales. At least I don't think the bale wrapper I plan to use will do that. So I think we may end up just using this New Holland baler. But now that I'm thinking about it, we want bale wrapper. Yeah, so this one works with square. So none of these are truly vintage. I get that. I understand that. But I think we're going to use this one. And we will use this with the New Holland. I know that gets us away from our all John Deere a bit, but wow, look at our money coming down. Turns out having 3 workers going is expensive. So let's go ahead and get our money situation squared away. Okay, none of that is, wow, it's going that fast just because 3 people are working. Let's go ahead and get ourselves about, I don't know, maybe 150 grand so that we can buy both of those things that we need. So we'll get this bale wrapper. Foil color white is fine with me. And then we will also get the older looking New Holland baler. Yellow or yellow? I prefer the yellow. And the design color, I can't actually tell the difference. Okay, let's go with that. We only need 45 horsepower, so oddly enough, we may be able to use that for it. Now, I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with this, but it is a really cool piece of equipment. And my thought, we'll see, my plans have been going very poorly today, but my thought was maybe we would put the sausage rolls over along here. So I'm going to put this kind of up here to start with. And then I believe we hit this to unfold the bale wrapper. And now when we bring a bale up and set it on here, it will wrap and then put the bale that's wrapped here, and it will kind of push itself down that way. That's the goal anyways. Those two are going to be done in that field fairly soon. And when they are, we're going to have them go work in the big backfield as well. So we're going to be a busy day. Busy March. Detaching is not allowed. I'm not trying to detach. Sounds like a you problem game. Alright, so we're going to head on down. We've got a worker mowing the rest of that field for us, but not windrowing yet, so we'll have to windrow. But I at least want to make a few bales here. and bring them up and show you how the wrapper's going to work for us. Because optimistically, it is going to work. He said, trying to convince himself. All right. So, yeah, this is so far so good. Uphill, I'm a little cautiously optimistic about uphill. But downhill, this seems great. Distinctly not, oops. That's my fault. Distinctly not John Deere. And sorry about that. If anybody knows of a John Deere round baler for FS22, obviously, like, let me know. I'd love that. Alright, let's see. Is it going to roll down the hill? I mean, science says it will roll down the hill. What does FS say? FS says don't worry about it. Can we make this tight turn and come up the hill? Potentially. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, horsepower. Nothing runs like a Deere. This is working better than I anticipated, I'll be honest. I don't like the light there. Maybe we get this one. If we get one of these every short lap, that would be beautiful, to be honest. What I really want is to have a nice silage roll going before I click simulate to the next day. We're going to put corn in that big field, so that's going to be a huge day when we do that. But I really want to be able to get our cows maybe in the next episode. If we have silage on hand to feed the cows, I will buy cows. We might not start off with all of the cows that we intend to have eventually. I was thinking, you know, a farm that's big enough to have its own dairy, its own on-site dairy, and regularly has 5 or 6 workers, I feel like should... I mean, this is plenty of space, too, so... I don't know. I'm still trying to sort out the logistics of all of it, but... I think we would have a lot of cows, is what I'm trying to say. I don't know how many this particular spot will hold, but we could end up putting in another pen as well. We have enough land here that we could do that. We could put it up there on that big field, the back field rather. We could put it up on the spot at the top of the hill. We could put it behind these trees on that other flat spot. There's a lot of ways that we could... Heck, we could put it over by the dairy on the other half of the flat spot. We have space there too. I'm just thinking, like, if that over there holds 50 or 60 cows, then maybe we need another place that's going to hold more. Wow, this is going to be a job. This is going to take a long, long time to do all this. I don't say that as a bad thing. I'm just saying it's going to be a job. But if it gets us a couple 100,000 liters of silage, then great. So it's okay to have that thing cut all of the grass, and then half of it I'm probably going to do as hay. I'll split it partway up the field. I'll do half of it as hay. I'm going to have to swap out tractors and let this one do the mowing so I can use the front loader on that one. This in-game day could end up being like several episodes. Blocked by an object? Well, they ran into each other. Okay, perfect. I love that. Okay, you be fired. You finish the job. All right. That's a great job. Proud of you. So I know I had talked about maybe making this into 2 fields, but did that person... Okay. I talked about making this into 2 fields, but it's probably just going to be the one, and then we'll put in planted, like, map editing grass around the dairy when it's in. But down there is where I was thinking, you know, maybe that could be another cow pen. Well, way later. I'm talking like 20 episodes from now later, not as in soon. Nobody said anything on the last episode about whether or not you thought it was foolish that I'm cutting grass in March. I was really hoping somebody who has a little more knowledge about real life farming would weigh in on that. I feel like it's incorrect, pardon me, for me to do that, but nobody said anything about it. It fits the rhythm of this game design, but I don't know that it fits reality. Maybe it would depend where you are. And Backcountry Roads doesn't say what state it is. The rolling hills feel very familiar to the parts of the country that I've lived in, but I don't know. As far as I know, it's intended to be a fictional location. So. We could definitely fit a cow pen up here too. Definitely, 100%. Not even a doubt in my mind. Alright, so I don't know the proper way to do this, so I'm just going to what happens if I put... Okay, he picks his own line. Alright, that's fine with me. Man, these 2 tractors are so cool. I mean, look at this thing. 4755. That is just... That is a cool looking tractor. I feel like the people in charge at John Deere were like, what's the coolest tractor we could make? That's our project. Just make the absolute coolest looking tractor we could possibly ever make. And they made this. I know I've said it in other episodes of this series, but I grew up driving red, but I've really enjoyed getting to know some of this John Deere equipment. I mean, say what you will about their current situation with not letting farmers work on their tractors and stuff. That aside, in terms of just absolute cool looking equipment that can do a job for you, doesn't get much better. I can't I don't mean to offend anybody who plays the game differently than me, but I honestly cannot fathom being the kind of person or ever personally saying, of course he's coming up this side. Dang it. I can't imagine ever personally being like, I'd rather drive a Valtra. You know, these incredible machines are in the game, but I'm gonna choose personally to drive a Valtra. I just can't. I can't fathom that being reality for anybody. And I'm not trying to knock Valtra specifically. I just mean, like, there's a bunch of other brands of tractors that just don't cut it for me. They just don't cut it for me. This is so cool. Very legit. And I don't, this is probably overkill, the size of this field, given what we're trying to do. But, I mean, come harvest time, we're going to be busy. We're going to be busy. But considering we just took out, you know what, $100,000 loan, $130,000 loan, we need every bit of cash we can make. All right, let's get back to our main job. Let's make one more bale, and then we'll take a few over and wrap bales. Just so we get the whole process in this video. And then I'm assuming next video will be a good bit more of the same, but hopefully not in a repetitive way. Okay, he's coming to the end of the row. Is it going to roll down? Hopefully the bale will stop it. Look at that. This worker is killing it. But I actually need you to chill out for a second. Remove this. Do I have... I feel like I have pallet forks up there. Considering the yield that we got for those bales down there, I think we're going to be in real good shape for our overall feed needs. Go get him. It's not going to go crooked, is it? Nah. He got it figured out. This is some serious multitasking we have to do on this farm. If I tried to do all the work on my own on this save, we would be in last August still. Lots to do here. Really need to get that lime out of the middle of the road too. Bothers me. Okay, yeah, we do have a pallet fork there. If you're the kind of person who's bothered by me using a pallet fork instead of a bale spike, you're probably you're probably not still watching at the 20-minute mark. But if you are, I apologize. It's not that I'm lazy so much as I guess I'm a little lazy. So what do you think? Can we do 2 bales on here or just 1? I'm gonna try these upper 2 bales. My guess is that it would be too heavy. That's my guess. But you don't know unless you try. So we are going to try spearing this one. Don't fall off, please. So these are still grass bales. They don't become silage until I wrap them, which we are going to do. $1,200 for wages. Money well spent, because I couldn't even run this farm without those workers. Okay, now 2. Now hopefully the tractor doesn't flip. A 40-20 should be plenty heavy. Check out that. Oh man. Just a beautiful piece of machinery. Classic. One of the true classics. So now we're gonna put this on the machine up here, and it's gonna wrap them, and they will stay wrapped grass bales for, I believe it's until you advance the month. If I remember right, which I could be wrong, but if I remember right, you put them up here. So it's going to take that one back. It's going to wrap it. This is a cool process if you've never seen one of these work. So it only did half. We'll put the other one on and it will finish the wrap. So it doesn't cut them when you do it like this. So it's going to keep wrapping, and the wrap is going to continue into that one. So at this point, this first bale is completely wrapped. And what's going to happen is we're just going to keep bringing those bales up here. And this thing's going to keep going down here. Doot, 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 doot. And it's going to keep making this longer and longer. And then eventually, like right now, if you look down in the bottom right, it says fermenting 0%. Eventually that'll say 100%. And we'll be able to click on it, and it will be a silage bale. So then we'll take the forks and pick it up and put it in our feed mixer. So we will have thousands and thousands of liters, we hope, of sausage. Man, am I hungry or what? Of silage up here. So taking them 2 at a time will probably be a bit tedious. We might need to get a flatbed trailer for this part. But I just wanted to show, especially because we have that awesome truck, so we can get a flatbed trailer for the semi, and then we'll be able to load that up. Is that worker stuck, or is he just stuck in first gear? These guys are killing it in this field that I don't even know what I want to plant. I think I'm gonna do soybeans up here. What did I miss? Why don't you like doing this anymore? Okay, there you go. That was weird. Maybe I accidentally tabbed to it? So anyways, you can see we have a good bit of work ahead of us. I think we'll... I know I keep saying we'll get the cows in the next episode, but realistically, we probably want to deal with this stuff. Okay, bale. We don't want to be coming at this on an angle. So we'll back up here. And now down we go. And up we go. Get a couple more. My issue with this farm in particular, maybe the way I play Farming Simulator overall, but this farm in particular, is that I'm trying to rush things. The sheer scale here is thousands of hours, right, of man hours worth of work, and I'm trying to do it, trying to make sure that a lot happens in every recording, when in reality some of this stuff is going to be what am I trying to say? Like, you can basically do the same thing over and over for like days if this was real life. I mean, that's, I know somebody left a comment, I think it was Victor that left a comment and said, I don't mind watching you do the same thing over and over, that's what farming is. And I really appreciated that comment a lot, because I recognize that, but I also recognize that not everybody's comfortable with that. So I think what we're going to do here for the next episode is we will be buying a tedder. So we'll be tedding and windrowing and baling hay in the next episode. We'll continue working the ground up in that other field though as well. And even though it feels a bit like a broken record, we are going to get cows in April. Whether or not April happens in the next episode or 2 episodes from now, we should be able to get cows in April, because the silage that we're wrapping right now should be fermented by then. How's that? Is that a good explanation? I hope so. Also, it occurred to me not that long ago that maybe I should be using a hay vine for these fields rather than that kind of mower. So I'll consider that as well. It's almost full already. Wow. This yield is pretty impressive. I mean, I know it's a planted grass field. We planted it. But it wouldn't, well, maybe it wouldn't take fertilizer because it was naturally fertilized. I don't know. It's just, this seems like a pretty impressive yield when you consider the conditions that it was produced in. I know we're leaving little bits of grass everywhere. Some viewers are probably super not happy about that, but I'm doing my best, I promise. I promise. And thank goodness for that warehouse paying us, because we would never be able to afford all the toys that we're getting. I don't think we'll be getting any more tractors. I think we're good on tractors. And once we get this haying equipment all good to go, we can run a dairy. We're going to need a tanker. We're going to need a tanker and a water source and a tedder. But we have a combine, which is one of the biggest expenses in farming. And we have tractors. And we have the land. The land is the biggest expense. Look at that. Look at that. How can you not think this is cool? Like, when people make fun of farm sim, I'm like, seriously? How can you not enjoy doing this? So calming and peaceful. Making progress on his awesome old farm. I like it. I like it a lot. And here we are. The little back lot that I windrowed in the last episode. This has got to be at least another, what, 5 bales, 6 bales? Even with the lower yield, it's pretty good, pretty impressive. Alrighty, well, I'm having a lot of fun, but a lot of this work we're going to have to continue in the next episode. Thanks so much for watching. If you're not already subscribed and you watch this whole thing, that means you're liking it, you're having fun. So please do drop that subscribe. Drop a like if you have enjoyed it, and continue watching the story of this John Deere farm here on Backcountry Roads. Thanks so much. My name is Bluebelly, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.